The Week 4 Contest Bombs edition of the Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without stress. Use promo code SFBX on your first purchase to save $20. Download Game Time app. Use promo code CFBX. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the Underdog Fantasy Pick'em College or NFL and win up to 20K in one game. 20 times in one game, not 20K. Don't listen to me. Plus, every Sunday, they're giving away 100K. Now, that's a K. Okay. Use promo code SGPN on Underdog Fantasy for 100% deposit bonus up to $500. Also brought to you by VSiN. Sign up now. Get 40% off your football season special when you use promo code SGP. That's VSiN.com/subscribe promo code SGP. And finally, brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit halloffamebets.com, HOFbets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. And with that, we will do a theme song music thing that makes this show official. Yeah, welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs. I am CJ Sullivan, your host, the man in the box. Yes, sir. It is Thursday, September 28th. I don't know why I have to say the dates. Just say the dates. You're looking at the date. You're probably looking at the date right now, somewhere, as you're listening to it or watching me. But welcome anyway. People call me at the time. Hey, I just wanted to call you up. It's 12:45. Yeah, I know. Everything's documented. Robots control us all. No need to tell me the time. That's an old dad trick, you know. They would do that. They would. All right, it's 3:00 my time, meaning it's 1 o'clock your time, 4 o'clock your time. Are you in the middle of the ocean? Dads and time zones. Am I right? Anyway, big show today. Of course, it is week 4 already. Wow. Wrapping up the first quadrant of the NFL season. So we'll give out, for the Circa contest. This is the contest edition. I'll give out 5 more bombs. We're not going to hit the first quadrant. They pay out in 4s the first 4 weeks. We did good. We're 9-5-1. Take that. Pretty good record. Not good enough for money, but in the contest. And we'll have a survivor contest. Even though I personally lost a survivor, I gave out plenty of survivors. Gave out Kansas City. So we're still alive. Hopefully you guys listen or didn't listen. And of course, we will have a man in a box segment. So, but first, as always, tradition, welcome who do watch live here on the C block. This is a little bit early. I know it gets confusing. The C block starts at noon, Mondays and Thursdays live. You got me, CJ Sullivan, the Bottom Line Bombs, man in the box, and also Picks Dundee, the college show. I'm on that on Mondays and Thursdays. We do Bombs Down Under because he's the Australian thing and I do bombs. Bombs Down Under. Usually it starts with him, college first and pro right after 12 and 1:30, but he's got a little thing with the wife being pregnant and the doctor and the whole shebang. So we're going to do college after the Bottom Line Bombs. We're still in the C. You're still in the C block. You're still in it. We're just reversing it. We're flipping it around. We're back it up, smack it up, rub it down. Oh no. The girl is going to do me. That was always weird that Belva DeVoe someone goes, smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh, no, the girl's going to do. Are you scared? Oh no, the girl is going to do me. What are you scared of, Michael Bivens? Talk a big game over there with your Jimmy Johns. Kids back in our day, we used to call condoms Jimmies. Make sure you have a Jimmy hat for your Jimmy Jam. And now it's a sandwich shop. But anyway, point is there is no point. Point is I'm watching live listeners leave my show. I'm walking the room on YouTube. Not afraid to do that. I did a show last night in Laguna Beach. Boy, they get fucking hammered down at the OC. Woo! Had a nice day though. Went down there early, took in the beautiful sights, and then did a show for a bunch of Real Housewives and Real Botoxes and martinis and whatnot, and everyone is fucking yowzers. A lot of dining outside. It's a dining outside area, Laguna Beach and your OCs. They like to dine outside, and there's parrots flying around. It's just a fantasy land. Who knows where anyone gets their money out down there? They didn't give it to me. I know that. Anyway, let's get into, like I said, tradition is, so now that we are doing the show, since there's a game tonight, the Thursday Night Football Bombs, for people who are watching live, I'll give that out right now so you can rush to the window. And by rush to the window, I mean open up a new window in your browser. Open up a Chrome or a Safari or a Brave. People are always trying to get me to, they try to get you to switch your internet browsers, but I can't. Chrome has me by the balls. They have all my passwords. I can't quit you, Chrome, because you won't let me. I don't know what these passwords are. Only you know. So, sorry, Safari. Sorry, Safari. Sorry, Charlie. Anyway, real quick, tonight the game is Green Bay, Detroit in Lambeau. Detroit is favored by 2. Lions 45.5 is the total. First time the Lions have been favored in Green Bay since 1986. With the Packers quarterback being healthy and all. No Matt Flynn game. Remember that when Matt Flynn threw 6 touchdowns in a meaningless game, and then Seattle gave him like $100 million. And they're like, whoops, that was a mistake. Then they lucked into drafting Russell Wilson late, and he turned out to be good. Anyway, that was fun. Tonight's game, Green Bay, Detroit. Everyone likes Detroit. Thursday games are tricky. I don't like to go too crazy with these. I do like the under. Primetime game, we'll give that out. 45.5. Primetime games are 9-2, last 11 to go under. Thursday short week. It's just a fucking money grab. But listen, I watch the Thursday night games. I'm not saying I don't. I just feel dirty watching them because these players are just going putting through the fucking ringer, and it's just a money factor. I mean, they're let's put them. I mean, just to have an Amazon Prime deal. These guys, you're not supposed to play 3 days after you just play an NFL game. You're supposed to have that full week, and if not. And then that's why it's hilarious anytime they try to adjust it like a kickoff rule for safety, really. Are you really concerned about safety, NFL? Yeah, we're also going to have you guys play triple headers because Tubi gave us a contract. Peacock says we want you to play on Wednesday mornings. They have a time slot open there, so go ahead and get in the van and show up and play and shut up. Anyway, so we'll take the under 45.5 on that. And you know what? It's weird. Everyone's on Detroit tonight. I don't have too much analysis. But I'll take the Packers at home just to be contrarian. Money line plus 115 to bomb that. They've had injuries. Christian Watson's supposed to be back. His you know what? I want to play that too. Christian Watson's back. And his over-under is only 39.5. That seems pretty low. Let's bomb that over. So there you go. There's 3 bombs for you for the Thursday night game for everyone who's watching live on YouTube, because by the time this goes out, it's way too late. There's nothing more embarrassing than having picks for games and the game's already occurred by the time you listen to it. And then if they're wrong, you're like, well, why the fuck am I listening to any of this shit? I'll tell you why, because I bring the picks with bits, okay? I'm the analog man, the man with the paper and the passion. They're for tobacco use only.
But then he pulls out, and it's just hard.
I don't know why I hit the Troy Aikman there. Troy Aikman, speaking of the primetime games, he was doing the Monday night game down there in Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, and he was saying a lot of Eagle fans down there just giving them shit. walking the streets. That must be fun. Must be a fun existence. As a Philly fan, I mean, I laugh about it because I believe it. It's 100% true. But also, come on. Everyone go, fuck you, Dallas. All right, I'm 65 years old. All right? I'm a Hall of Famer. Just doing my job as an announcer. Fuck you, Troy. It's just fun to say, fuck you, Troy. In our defense, it's fun to say, fuck you, Troy Aikman. That's a fun thing to say. And to mean it, you know? Just fuck Troy Aikman. I'm just kidding. Troy Aikman's great. He's still too great. That's a problem. He's chiseled. His name's Troy for crying. Who the fuck is named Troy? You know, a Greek guy, like, the Emperor Troy, my chariot. Troy Aikman will lead us to the promised land. Why am I going off on Troy Aikman? I have no idea. Oh, because of the night games. Anyway, those were the bombs for the Thursday night game. We have a good show tonight out today. The game is tonight. For the weekend, NFL contest, Circa contest, which lines we'll be using when I come back. I'll give out 5 detonated bombs for the weekend for you to get into. Hopefully we can improve upon our record and a survivor. And then, of course, a man in the box. But first, let me tell you about Game Time. Game Time is the new ticket app, you know, when you get the day of the game, to get all the stress out of your tickets. Ticket purchasing, if you will. Let's say you wanted to go to Laguna Beach last night and see a comedy show headlined by the man in the box himself, CJ Sullivan. You try to go in advance and get it, and it's all kinds of chaos. They want you to log into an account and the whole thing. Well, I mean, Game Time, you probably got to log into an account too. But there's no stress. You know you're not getting ripped off. You're not going to go see some poser, and they are posers down there at OC. I wore a yellow sweatshirt, like a hoodie by Carhartt, which I was wearing the other day here. I'm like, this will be my beach look. You know, I'll blend in with the bras down there. They're all bras. Took a nice walk by the water. And this guy comes up to me. He's like, have you seen any nice sets out there? I guess he was talking about the waves. Get any sets on it? Look gnarly. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Do I look? Am I giving off Jonah Hill vibes? Is that what's going on? So you would think I would know the answer to that question? You think I'm a fucking... Anyway, so what will you do instead of that? This is an ad for Game Time, by the way. You get Game Time app. You look it up. Look up the CJ Sullivan in Long Beach. You get the tickets right there. Last minute, good price. Hell, if you ask me, I'll get you in for free, and I'll or give me $10, round back, and I'll pocket it with my drink tickets. It's the fastest growing ticket app for a reason. So just snag your tickets, download the Game Time app, use the code SFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code SCFBX for $20 off. Did I say SF? I meant CFBX. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guarantee. Also, Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. You win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. From now until October 4th, my birthday, Underdog is matching 100% of first deposits up to $500. That's pretty good. $100,000 Sundays continue on Underdog Fantasy. These are fun. It's a total of $2 million in prizes all season long. $100K in prizes this week, $10K to 10 people this week. New sweepstakes every week in the NFL season. Like an underdog play I like tonight, Christian Watson over the fucking 39.5. I mean, that thing's going to be done with by the first quarter. They're going to feed him early. So when you sign up, use promo code SGPN, Underdog will double up your first deposit of up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. And with that, we are back with the bottom line bombs. And JC from KC, good to see you here. You've always got a bomb when you come into the ticker. What's up, C-Generates? He says, yeah, what is up, C-Generates? Come on in. I know. Thank you for coming on in here. Always love to see the C-Generates blow up the chat room, as they say. You are in the C block. We're just flipped it around. College will be at me and Colby will be after this. He had to run around town because he's got the old pregnant wife situation. I don't know if I was supposed to reveal that or not. But I did. Either way, was that breaking news? Did I break the Dundee? Did I break the Dundee? There's going to be a Daddy Dundee. Nope, that's it. This is breaking news. All right. Let's get into the Circa contest and detonate some bombs. Like I said, we are 9-5-1 on the season. Not bad. Obviously, it's a profit. Not good enough for contest money for the first quarter, but it's okay. We're staying steady. So we got to keep hitting these things and see what happens. But as of now, yeah, you're right. Colby having a music kid. You're right, JC. I will definitely hit that up. And that's right. Pix Dundee having a kid.
Showtime, Mahomes.
He also has to drive the wife around town for multiple doctor's appointments.
Showtime, Mahomes.
That is fun. It just gets you excited no matter what. All right, let's get into the bombs. Now with that, let's build on this 9-5-1 record. Let's give out 5 winners. Picks with bits for tobacco use only. So this game, I'm going to start right off with the game of the week in my mind. This is the game I'm most excited for, and I might even go to. I'm thinking about going to this game live. And that, of course, is Denver at Chicago. I will be in Chicago this weekend, C-Generates. If anyone wants to come out there, come see me at the Laugh Factory tomorrow night, Friday night, and then Lincoln Lodge all weekend. They're doing a comedy fest out there. I'll be on a panel talking about a book. The book, The Perfect Amount of Wrong, I think it's called, about the Chicago comedy scene in the early 2000s. A lot of famous people. Anyway, I don't need to get into that. Let's get into the Denver Bears game. I want to go to this game because this game is a disaster. This is what the Bottom Line Bomb show is all about. We do picks with bits. We look for the comedy or the narrative in these picks, and this one's got everything. Denver and Chicago. Denver Broncos, they're bad. They are lost by 50 points last week, bad. But they're not as bad as the Bears. How often do you see a team lose by 50, which you don't at all, and then they're favored on the road the next week by 3.5? You get threes out there, but we got to go by the contest lines, and it's 3.5. I don't even care. We're going to lay the 3.5 with Denver. In Chicago, it seems insane. There's a lot of competition. You have Vance Joseph, the defensive coordinator for Denver, who is amazing that he has a job. But he does have a defensive coordinator I think he can outcoach this week, and that is nobody. The Bears have nobody as their defensive coordinator because he got tied up in bike shop things, if you know what I mean. You don't know what I mean. We brought that up. That's the different strokes code language for pedophile when they had a special episode. I mean, come on. We don't know if that's true. There's a lot of rumors going around, FBIs, and the Bears are, this is what I love about the Bears. See, the Broncos are bad. And that was very embarrassing. So they should bounce back. But they at least put some efforts in there. They're winning at one point versus Washington. They should have beat the Raiders. And they got smoked by a freight train, and they quit against Miami. So they will bounce back. Now, when Chicago, they're just a team that's bad, though. You know, they don't bring the entire city down with it. Chicago, the Bears, they are on DEFCON, as someone in the Athletic Theater, they're on DEFCON White Sox level. They are fucking abysmal, and everything is just falling apart. They had a press conference 2 weeks ago. So we had Justin Fields come out and say he doesn't like when coaches coach him. It makes him think too much. I just like to run and throw. That wasn't a good sign. And then the defensive coordinator quit because he had to resign because the FBI was kicking down his door. Also not a good sign. So we're like, man, this place is a dumpster fire. So then in the Bears, what they did to calm everyone down is they had a press conference announcing that they're not a dumpster fire. Just wanted everyone to know that we are not shit. We're okay. We're not, everything is not falling apart. Just having, one of those standard middle of the week, everything's fine here press conferences, like other teams do. I'm sure Kansas City had one last week too before they played us, right? Did they have a don't worry, the sky is not falling press conference? No, they didn't. They just did their business. Oh, well, okay. Everyone teach their own, I guess. Denver's got a bad defense. I think they will bounce. They're funny because they were an elite defense last year, but Russell Wilson was just so bad. And they're like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. That's too much work. Why are we busting our asses to fucking have Russell Wilson say, let's ride, and score 10 points? This year, Russell Wilson's not that bad. Sean Payton's actually doing some kind of things with them. If you look beyond the horrendous 50-point loss and giving up 70, which like I said on Monday, I didn't even know you're allowed to give up. I didn't even know you're allowed to score 70 points in the NFL. I thought it reset after 50 or something. And in regulation, just handing it off. Pop Warner style. But so I think they'll bounce back from that. And the Bears, they're so bad. They got smoked out by the Packers. The only reason why Kansas City didn't score 70 on us is because they fucking benched everyone after the third quarter. So just the tragedies. And now you got the White Sox falling apart. You have the Cubs falling apart in Chicago. Like, they love. I mean, it's not good there. And this is a perfect. And what I do also love about this game, the stakes are so high because there will be multiple firings for whoever loses. And they're just going to put I can't. Maybe they should come into a bond or something. Like, all right, can we tie? Can we just, I could definitely see a tie happening. But it won't. There is value with the Bears, I guess, getting points at home versus a terrible Denver team. But no, this is historic. Anytime you see a world falling apart, you hop on and you laugh and you enjoy the ride. So let's just fade these Bears as much as possible, even if it means taking the Broncos on the road -3.5. Bomb it. Next game, we have Cleveland at Baltimore, divisional muckety-muck AFC North Art Modell Bowl. Do people even talk about the Art Modell shit anymore? This line is 2.5, according to the Circa contest lines that came out this morning. Cleveland favored. It's kind of rare to see Cleveland doing what they're doing, but their defense is legit. They have Jim Schwartz there. Jim Schwartz, that's where he needs to be, in a fucking blue-collar, rundown Midwest city. You put him in those premier jobs, he's not good. But when he just blitzes like crazy. And Baltimore's still banged up. I know they're supposed to get healthy this week with the O-lineman, but I'm not buying it. And this is a little personal for Baltimore from last week with that Survivor losing to the Colts. We're going to go with Cleveland -2.5. And I used to narrate, dictate, pontificate, hominate. That Cleveland Browns, they usually get good things and then they get taken away from them. But I think so. It started off the season, they hammered the Bengals, and then they lost at Pittsburgh on Monday night, and then they lost Nick Chubb. Then they bounced back and they dominated Tennessee and Tannehill. So I think they're building this up again. So now I think they're gonna beat Lamar, who's they're a little injured, a little wobbling. They're coming in. The offense was that was funny too. They're supposed to change the entire offense this year, the Ravens, and make them throw the ball. And then as soon as things went bad, like, all right, fuck it, Lamar, just run around. Lamar, run and save us, will you? Lamar, remember that whole thing we were talking about, that scheme? Yeah, fuck that. Just do that thing you do that no one else can do. How about that? That's when we'll all act like we designed this thing up and get paid for it. But that being said, I think this Browns defense is for real. They're gonna build this up even a little more. Get to a fervor. There's a bye after this. Anytime you go into a divisional game with a bye the next week, their teams are very good with that record. I don't know. There's a trend. There's a stat. You don't come to me for stats. You come to me for picks with bits. So let's do it. Cleveland Brown and the Elves -2.5. Our second one. Bob it. 2 favorites: Denver and Cleveland. Jesus, what is wrong with me? I need to get a dog in there. And we're going to get a dog. This way. Let's cue to my dog. Dog. Cue the old dog. Time to get some dogs because you have to have a dog. And we're going to go to Washington, Philly. My Philadelphia Eagles, who looked good on Monday night. Their defense did. I'll tell you what, their defense looked amazing. Also, speaking of Cleveland, a lot of it, though, was going against Baker Mayfield. Every year, the same thing happens with Baker Mayfield. He's thrown away. No one likes him. Then he beats on bad teams. Then he's pumped up as like the scrappy underdog who's him against the world. Baker. And then he plays a real team and gets his shit kicked out of him again. And it repeats in the circles. So now you got Philly, whose defense looked great, but it was against Baker Mayfield. Come back home off a Monday night win, short week. They were in New England week 1 in a storm. They're in, then they had a Thursday night game versus Minnesota, short week. Then they had a long rest, but then it was in that swamp down in Tampa Bay, the mecca of strip clubs and air conditioning and neon. Then they played Baker. Now they come back on a short week at home. So I don't think it's a great spot for Philly. The line is 8. It's a big line. Washington, they got blown out by Buffalo last week, but it wasn't as bad as it looked, to be honest with you. I mean, they didn't look good, but it wasn't like 30-0. It all happened at the end with turnovers and whatnot. And this is a game traditionally, like Houston goes to Jacksonville and wins. That's just what they do. It doesn't make any sense. It just makes NFL sense. Every year, Washington goes to Philly and they either win or they play them tough. It makes no sense. Is Philadelphia better? Yeah, of course. Does that mean anything? No. It's the NFL. That's not what the script's all about. And now that the writer's strike broke, like these Commanders, the dogs come in +8 because it makes no sense. It's just this is what Philly does. Eric Turman, who is a Washington fan, it's a terrible offensive line. Yes, they have a terrible offensive line. And that's not a good recipe when you're playing a great defensive line like Philadelphia. But this is what happens. Philly fucking falls flat on their face these Washington home games. You've Donovan McNabb revenge games coming. Just gross games. Last year, that was like the only game Philly lost. Was that Monday night at home? It makes no fucking sense. So sometimes you just got to, and it's just the way these dogs are. Dog. We're going to bomb out Washington Commanders. +8 is our dog. Speaking of Commander dogs, you see Joe Biden's dog? His dog's named Commander. He bit a Secret Service agent the other day. That's the 11th time that's on the books that Joe Biden's dog Commander bit a Secret Service agent. It's a fucking German Shepherd. That's my old shit. We're going to give him more training. Don't worry. Every time he bites a Secret Service, sometimes they've gone to the hospital. These fucking things. Like, we're going to give him new training protocols. Literally, I mean, if there's no other metaphor, trying to teach an old dog new tricks. Coming from Joe Biden. Not that I'm political, but I mean, he's old, for crying out loud. He's never going to give up his fucking dog. They'll put down the Secret Service agent before they put down fucking old Commander. And in this country, they'll probably back him. Let me see this real quick. Commander's been involved in 11 biting incidents at the White House and in Delaware. November 22, there was an incident. An officer was hospitalized after they clamped down on the arms and thighs. Jesus Christ. White House officials say, don't worry. Bidens are working through new training and leashing protocols for the family. Oh, okay. No problem. We're going to train it. Good God. I'm sure the 12th one won't happen. It's not like there's a pattern here. I mean.
Happy birthday.
He's got to give better training. Come on, Commander. I'm not going to do a Biden impression. Come on, Commander. We talked about this. I love when dog owners try to have human conversations with their dogs. Commander, what did we say? What did we say about biting Secret Service agents? We discussed this, didn't we? Oh, he doesn't remember. Oh, Commander, Commander is in one dog ear, out the other. Also, he doesn't understand human language or words. You know how dogs are. They're animals. And you need to train it with action, not fucking dialogue. Commander, what do we say? He doesn't do that. Commander doesn't do that normally. Well, first of all, Commander does do that. Commander did it 11 times. It's never reassuring when an owner tells you that the dog normally doesn't do that. One, you're lying. Two, I don't give a fuck what his normal pattern is. It's doing it right now. It's biting my shorts like I'm the goddamn copper tone, baby. Ripping my trunks off. Get Commander to fuck off me. Commander, we don't do that, do we, Commander? Do we? No, we do. It's doing it. It's doing it. Anyway, so that's my Washington pick. How did I get into that? Because that pissed me off 11 times. There's always people have these dogs, they bite them, and they're like, we'll put them down, and they just don't. Oh, man. Anyway. All right, let me get to some ad reads. When we come back, I got 2 more bombs and a survivor pick, and then, of course, a man in the box. But first, let me tell you about VSiN. We are brought to you by VSiN. Sign up now. Save 40% off a football season special when you use promo code SGP. VSiN.com/subscribe, promo code SGP. Sean and Ryan are in a contest, actually, they go head-to-head with all the VSiN shows. See who sells the most subscriptions, and the winning show gets a $1,000 Super Bowl future ticket. That's pretty fun. And Sean and Ryan are going to give it back to you guys. So if they win, they don't just keep the ticket; they get you guys a part of the ticket. So you guys get to ride you get to sweat a bet, a Super Bowl future ticket, a $1,000 ticket. That's pretty fun. It's pretty easy. You just go to VSiN.com/subscribe. Use promo code SGP to sign up. Go to sportsgamingpodcast.com/VSiN and just submit your proof of purchase. And if they win, you get to vote on what team to use the $1,000 Super Bowl future ticket on. If that hits, you get an equal piece of the action. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe. Use promo code SGP. Also, Hall of Fame bets. Win bigger by betting smarter. NFL season Hall of Fame bets. Sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer with historical stats. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use promo code SGP to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. You stop betting in the dark. They help you with your parlays and everything. We are back on the Bottom Line Bombs at the minute 33 and 50 seconds. I'm saying that out loud so I could document it, because we're doing live the way I do live ad reads. Thank you, everybody, by the way, who is watching on YouTube. Part of the C block. I see more people are filing in. Make sure you hit the like button down below. The thumbs up. It doesn't count unless you like it. I don't even care if this goes in your ears. It means nothing unless I'm liked. Verify me. Validate me. Like I said, you don't even have to really like it. Just hit it. Just hit the fucking thumbs up. Anyway, that VSiN contest, by the way, that website, I know I kind of breezed through that ad read. I remember that website. It's really good. It gives all the betting splits, a lot of picks. It's a gambling network in Vegas. They have a TV network. We do a show there every Friday night on their studio. They have a TV studio inside the Circa Sportsbook. I've been a guest there a couple times, and it's fun. And we're tackling these goddamn VSiN hosts and their high and mighty thrones, your hoops, your Mitch and Paulies. We're coming after you. Well, Mitch, I tell you, Mitch. I don't even know the impression. I like the show. Oh, I can't do it. Sprinkle a little pizza money on the Blue Jays not to make the playoffs. Anyway, I'm an amazing impersonator, by the way. I do incredible impressions. I take after Rich Little, who you can see at the Tropicana Laugh Factory at 2 p.m. I was just talking about that when I did the Scott Bowser podcast. Shout out to Scott Bowser's. We went through the casinos. I'll talk about that at the end, and the hacking. And we brought up Tropicana. I saw Rich Little 2 p.m. Rich Little, he does like a 2 p.m. show, which of course, because he's like 90. He still does impressions. He's in his 80s, not 90. He looks good, actually, for as old as he is. And his impressions are people who are even older than him. Like he's still doing John Wayne and Johnny Carson. Everyone's just dead. And then it veers off into pro-Trump stuff, and the crowd loves it. That's what you do. And then they all go out for breakfast. I don't know. Captain Insano, welcome to the chat room. He says he's coming after me like a commander after a Secret Service agent. Only 11 times Captain Insano has commander bitten a fucking Secret Service agent. Anyway, let's get into the real games. The 2 New York primetime games, baby. All right. We knew we had to talk about this game. Kansas City versus the Jets. Sunday. It's Sunday night game, primetime, on one of the 1,000 Jet primetime games that we have to suffer through since Aaron Rodgers got hurt. They booked this. They still talk about this fucking team too. That's why I had to leave this game. And this game's got this game literally has everything. I mean, I joke that the Bears Broncos is my favorite game. This game, another disaster. We're gonna have to beat them. I mean, you have the Taylor Swift thing, of course, which is going to be huge. She showed up. She's showing up to the Jets game. She's off this month, apparently. She's going to be in the house, so she'll be on TV the entire time. Which is a nice angle, by the way. Anytime Taylor Swift is at a game where Travis Kelce's playing, we're gonna bet Travis Kelce to score a touchdown, because Patrick Mahomes even admitted afterwards when Aaron Andrews asked him, says, "If any pressure to give him a touchdown?" He's like, "Yeah, there's pressure." Have you seen her fans, the fucking Swifties? They'll kill me. So Patrick Mahomes is terrified of these teenage girls, Taylor Swift fans. So he's going to force Kelsey's going to score a touchdown. So you make sure you play that. That's a side note. That's just not the bomb. Kelsey finally spoke out. Kelsey spoke out on his podcast. He said he wants us to respect their privacy. What? Yeah, she's not really on too much reality TV. I'm on a little bit. Shut the fuck up, Travis Kelce. Privacy. There's not your whole whatever. Between your podcast, your reality goddamn TV shows, your host of Saturday Live, and Swift's having concert movies of her life, your privacy. Anyway, too bad. No way. You have no say in this, Kelsey. There's a fun trend going on right now. So it's funny that Taylor Swift fans are coming into the NFL, because you have the Taylor Swift fans, the Swifties, as Insano said, the Swifty effect. Kelsey, anytime touchdown. I mean, it's real. So you have that. Where was that? Mahomes?
Showtime, Mahomes.
Mahomes terrified of these Swifties. So you have the Swifty fans coming in, and they're like, "Who are these people? What's going on with football? This is a gross sport, but all right, let's do it." And then you have football fans who are pissed, like, "What the fuck, man?" So there's a trend on TikTok, which is kind of funny actually, where girls or women, I should say, wives, girlfriends, they troll their boyfriends or husbands by saying, "Isn't it cool that Taylor Swift put Travis Kelce on the map? No one knew who he was." And the men get mad. They get upset. So it's pretty funny. But it's also just revealing of how close these relationships are to domestic violence. These men overreact pretty hard, and they get violent and screaming, like, "What the fuck? Kelsey's one of the best tight ends of all time. It's like, what, are you crazy, you dumb bitch?" Jesus. She's joking. And even if she isn't, calm down. There's one where this guy snaps and she's like, she's laughing, like, ha ha, it's a TikTok challenge. Now, can you please tell people that you don't talk like this to me? Oh, yeah, I usually don't. Yeah, I can see. I can tell that you're very rational and she doesn't live in fear at all. So that's a fun TikTok trend, the old domestic violence trend. I mean, they're going crazy for this thing. You know me, I've always been cynical, pessimistic of ratings and numbers and where to even come up with these numbers. And I think they're inventing these Taylor Swift numbers too. Like, it's up 8 million% to women under 14. It's like, who's calculating this shit? What are you talking about? All right, Kelsey jerseys sold more. I can see you can calculate that, I guess. Which I don't even think people are buying Kelsey jerseys. His podcast got more downloads. That I agree with. I know people say this is all for publicity. All right, maybe for him. What does she need publicity for? She's one of the most popular. She's one of the most famous people in the world. Although I do find that funny, and I'm not a Taylor Swift hater, but I do. People are like, why is Taylor Swift so great? Like, you can't say a bad thing about her. They'll just be like, you motherfucker. She's got $1 billion. Okay, I get it. She's got money. I'm saying she's not talented, but I don't know. She seems pretty annoying. And it's very nice. I'm sure she's great. And don't tell anyone that I said that, please. Eric Turman says, I knew you were a sports ball when you walked in. Which you bring up a good point, Eric Turman. Sports writers and announcers and talking heads on ESPN and everywhere, and no matter what it is, they think they are the most clever people in the world when they do a Chiefs segment and forcing in titles of Taylor Swift songs. Oh, they think they're fucking hilarious. They can't believe how clever they are. And the Jets knew that Kelsey was trouble when he walked in, and here's your anti-hero. And I don't know the names of Taylor Swift songs. But they go through, and they don't know them either. They go through them. They Google them. She's the ultimate purse holder concert. Concerts packed with women and men holding purses. It is kind of bizarre. I don't want to get into the whole Taylor Swift thing, but it is bizarre how she's for kids. She's for little girls. And then it's just grown and grown and grown where now the whole world just like I feel like we have no choice. Like, okay, this is it. She's bigger than the Beatles. Everyone just loves Taylor Swift now. There's no choice in this matter. Yeah, I mean, some people think it's conspiracy. Once again, Roger Goodell's evil villain genius. Remember Goodell wanted Taylor Swift to do the Super Bowl? This is probably how they negotiated. Because the NFL is the worst. Like, yeah, do our Super Bowl. We won't give you any money, but we'll give you exposure. And Taylor Swift's like, yeah, I'm okay on exposure. But you can open for me, NFL, if you want. I got a concert in Vegas coming up. Maybe you could play your little game before that. What do you call it? The Super Bowl? Yeah. Play your little game. You can open up for me, and then I'll do my concert and outdraw you by fucking 50 billion. Anyway, so she's going to be there Sunday night. Kansas City's going to be there. Zach Wilson's going to be there. And that's what the thing. It's going to be the last Zach Wilson game. So let's just get in on it while we can. They brought in Trevor Siemian. He's not going to be active, but he will be after this game. Zach Wilson's horrible. We all know he's horrible. The Jets told us he's horrible, even though now they're saying he's not. They can't lie anymore. Everyone sees it. And this is going to be the party, the Taylor Swift concert, where all Jets fans get to come in and boo and scream Zach Wilson in front of everybody. There's going to be no coming back from this. The line is 9.5. We're going to bomb these Chiefs. Bomb it. We're giving that out as the fourth bomb of the pick. I mean, it's just going to be... It's going to get ugly. Taylor Swift. No. It's going to be a great party, though. It's going to be quite a scene. like last week with the guy's teeth coming out. But imagine this on national TV at night, where it's the only game there is on NBC. And they're just going to have to show Taylor Swift, please save this game. All we have is Mahomes.
Showtime Mahomes.
Normally, this would be a good bounce back. And they're saying, but they're sick of hearing about it, It's Kelsey and Swift. And the defense of the Jets hates Zach Wilson. They're going to start doing a Denver thing soon, too, where they're like, you know what? This is too much work being good at defense and having no offense. So they're going to let Kelsey and the Chiefs do whatever the fuck they want. It's just going to get ugly, and they're going to be screaming for Zach Wilson's head. It's going to be, it's going to be like a town cry. It's going to be a public flogging, a New York public flogging, because New York loves being loud and miserable, and they act like they deserve better, and they don't. They don't deserve better. They deserve this. They deserve the concert. So everyone's going to watch it. We're getting that. All right, last game. So far to recap, we've got Denver -3.5. Yeah, we're taking Denver off a 50-point loss. Why not? Cleveland -2.5, Washington +8, Kansas City -9.5. And the last game, we got Seattle Giants Monday night. It's a pick'em, which I love that it's a pick'em. Can only tie. And it could tie, but no. We're taking this is weird because it's a Monday night game in New York in the same stadium where the public hanging of Zach Wilson is going to happen the night before. So this is going to be a weird scene. This is going to be a funeral the day afterwards. You always have those weird day after a storm where it's like trash is just blowing around in the wind after the day after the party, but it's a dark party. It's just gross. You got to do clean up, and it's just like, oh, who is this for? Get me out of here. It's very depressing. So while there's going to be entertainment on the Jets game with booing Zach Wilson and fucking flogging him, the Monday night game is just going to have a gross day after January 2nd feeling. Someone has a party and then they have the party the day after because we don't want our parties to go on the same night. So we decided you do Friday, you do Saturday after the first party. Like, yeah, I don't really want to do it again. One party's good enough. Even then, I wanted to cancel, but we're not doing two parties. So the Giants are going to host a second party, and no one's going to give a shit because they're losing and they're bad, but they're not even losing in a fun Zach Wilson way. They're losing in the same old just try hard. They're try hard. You got Geno Smith coming back to town. I guess he used to play for the Jets in a revenge game. Either way, this is more of a tourist New York trip. You see the sights. Pete Carroll can go down to Ground Zero and explain to them that he thinks it's all a fucking inside job and it never happened. He can give us his conspiracy theories to dead firemen. That'd be a fun segment they should do. They should have Pete Carroll and Fireman Ed walking around Ground Zero and Pete Carroll telling Fireman Ed that all of his friends are liars and that this never happened. Where's that halftime segment? That being said, we're taking the Seattle Seahawks at Pick'em as our fifth bomb. All right, so that's our 5 bombs. Good luck. Hopefully we'll add on to our 9-5-1 record. Hopefully we can sweep the board because that's what you got to do in this contest. Get me close to the fucking money. Survivor. Hope you're still in it. We gave out Kansas City last week. Jacksonville was our secondary pick. If you took that, you lost like I did. I took Jacksonville and Baltimore. Because we needed to save Kansas City for the Circa contest. But I'm another Survivor contest too. So like on Bet Online where I did use Kansas City. So we're still alive. And like I said, I want to mentally keep going to see just in case if I would have won 9 million. Because I think that's really good for my mental health where there's no gain whatsoever from it. But all right. This week there's a clear-cut there's only one clear-cut pick for Survivor. That's San Francisco. They're playing Arizona -14. I'll definitely recommend San Francisco. Don't overthink it. You saw last week was a bloodbath in Survivor. So let's just get out of the month of September clean. This first 4. We'll take San Francisco -14. It's a big dog. It's a big guy, but let's just use them. Other choices, Cowboys, you don't want to use. There's the Patriots. Philly, I don't trust that Philly-Washington game. I'd stay away from it. It's got the vibes of Jacksonville-Houston of last week. My secondary choice behind San Francisco, actually, it's a smaller line, but I like the Chargers over the Raiders. Garoppolo's in the concussion protocol, so it might be a Brandon Hoyer game. What's going on with the fucking Raiders? Did you see what Chandler Jones said came out today? And he said Josh McDaniels killed Aaron Hernandez in a park. That dude's fucking crazy. And he's just doing it live on Instagram, and we're all laughing and reporting on it. Chandler, they're just acting like it's a fun story. Chandler Jones confronts his neighbor and fucking says that Josh McDaniels killed a tight end in a Hey, stop reporting these stories and get this man help. He's mentally unstable. He's doing shirtless Instagram lives on his driveway, tagging LeBron James and barbecue. He's fucking Jesus. They're acting like it's a fun story. Oh, you'll never guess what he said next. I know what he didn't say. Hey, give me a refill of my prescription because he's not taking his meds. Somebody get him help. Anyway, so I like the Chargers also in Survivor. Niners, Chargers. Chandler Jones is losing his mind. Just kidding. Just kidding, as I say. Anyway, that's going to do it for the bombs and the Survivor. Now let's go into the box and do a man in the box. I just realized that I've been in the box the entire time. Now I switched to the wide angle. This is the box locked in. Let me go wide then for you guys. But then when I do the box segment, let me just do this. Let me turn this thing around. What was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about that dog, but I talked about the dog with the Redskins, the Commanders, I mean. Couple games I did not do, by the way. Speaking of the Jaguars who lost last week, everyone there's a reason why I left these out my bombs. They're -3 versus Atlanta in Europe. And the Jaguars, I left them out because they fall under my category of lazy handicapping that I fall victim to too, of course. And they love saying, well, they're playing in Europe, and Jacksonville's used to be in Europe. Atlanta's not used to be in Europe. Yeah, great. Jacksonville's used to it. You're right. They do it every year. It's a 6-hour flight. What are they used to? And just because they're used to it doesn't mean they like it. That's what they used to say about me. When I live in Chicago, which I'll be there this weekend. Chicago, come see me. Lincoln Lodge, Laugh Factory. I was complaining about the cold a lot. The people out here, my sister was out here. She's like, yeah, you're used to it though, right? You're used to the cold weather? Used to it? You're used to it? I hate when people say that. You're used to it. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. It doesn't mean I like it. 50 Cent was shot 9 times. He's used to the feeling. He gets it. He doesn't like it. But he's used to it. Maybe he likes it. Sells records or vitamin water, whatever the fuck he's selling. Anyway, Captain Insano says he hopes instead of sitting next to Mama Kelsey, she sits next to drunk Joe Namath. Drunk Joe Namath and Taylor Swift would be pretty amazing. I want to kiss you. I got a fur coat and I want to sexually assault you, Susie Colbert. Anyway, let me get into the box. I know I wrongly did it in the box, and let me do that again. Anyway. Another lazy handicap. Like they said about baseball, that's like anytime someone wins a champagne, like the Phillies clinch a playoff spot 2 days ago, and they had like beer and shit in the locker room. Like, oh, these guys are gonna be hammered. You bet against them. They're gonna be hungover. They won. It's such a dumb angle. Because, yeah, they're professional athletes. Yeah, we would be hungover. We wouldn't be able to win a baseball game. But professional athletes, they can handle a few fucking beers. And then no one drinks like Mickey Mantle and those assholes anymore. They just say they talk a good game is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, what did I want to talk about? That's one of my favorite things to do. I say, what did I want to talk about as I'm talking about something? I wanted to talk about that senator too, Menendez or whoever his name is. Speaking of which, a Jersey senator who won't resign. He's hilarious. $100,000 in cash in his pockets and suits. Gold bars. He got paid off in gold bars. How cartoonishly corrupt can you be? And then they checked his computer, and he was literally Googled, how much are gold bars worth? Where can I sell my gold bars? Do I give it to Tom Selleck? Who buys gold bars? Fucking hilarious, this guy. They took his phone. He was like, texting Egyptian gangsters. I guess that's who's paying them off, or politicians. And like, all right, we got you. We got guns coming for you. And he tweeted back like emojis. Yo, thumbs up. Dick. Oh, that was a. That was an acorn. I don't even know why. Like I said, I'll be in Chicago this weekend. Sean Flannery, I do a Blackout Diaries podcast with him. I'll be doing a Blackout Diaries show, so make sure you subscribe to that as well if you can. If you like those drinking stories. So I'll be going to an alcoholic city. That is Chicago. Chicago City full of alcoholics. But because they drink, they know how to drink. LA doesn't know how to drink. They have fun and misery. I should have talked about this during my Bears Bronco analysis. But like I did mention with Scott Bowser, I did his podcast. We talked about all the casinos and the MGM hacking that's just getting finished with the MGM. Oh, that's why I brought up Sean Flannery. Sean Flannery also does tech work. MGM, if you haven't been paying attention to this Vegas hack story, it's so funny because MGM has done everything wrong that you can do. People hack the information. They got the workers, and all they did was go to LinkedIn. They got somebody's name, called a call center, boom, everyone's password. And they gave him some ransom, and then MGM refused to pay. MGM still thinks they're involved with the mob or something. This money's insured. What are you doing? Just pay it. Caesars paid it a couple of months ago. This happens every week, these hackers, but you just don't hear about it because people either pay it or it's a company that you don't care about. But the latest thing that was funny, MGM put out an ad because all their shit got hacked. So now they put an ad for IT guys to help them get their stuff back online. And like, okay, and they were making demands. Like it'd be a privilege to do this for MGM casinos. You have to work 7 days a week, 14 hours a day. Bonus if you pay a little after till the job's done. 3 weeks nonstop. Then you get the job done. Like he's talking to like lazy Gen Zers or millennials. Like no personal fucking mental health days. We got to get this shit back running, and we'll pay you $25 an hour. How about that? It wasn't even that. They offered $100 an hour, which their valet parkers get that pretty much. And Flannery, who's the IT guy, Blackout there, subscribe. He said, "Yeah, that's not even a fraction of the rate that would go." He's like, "It's $500 an hour just for a consultant gig in that department." So keep an eye on that. I can't wait to see how MGM still thinks they're fucking with the mob. They're like, it's fine. Everything's fine. Meanwhile, they're paying off people with a slot machine by hand with cash. Eric Turman says, Chicago knows how to drink. LA is expensive 2 drinks that won't get you buzz city. Well, it's not even that. They judge you in LA with their drinks. You try to get a 3rd drink at a bar in LA, the bartender's like, really? You want another one? I'm like, yeah, I do. That's how your business model works, right? I order a drink, I give you money, and you give it to me, right? That's how the business transaction. Do you not want this business to thrive? I don't know. I just wouldn't do that if I were you. Meanwhile, Chicago, every fucking bar, no matter what time of day, it looks like they just won the World Series in there. There's pianos playing, they're screaming and singing. Hey, come on in, buddy. All right. I was going to walk 3 blocks, but I guess I'll go inside this bar because you're in the way. I will say when they're in the wintertime and when it's cold, you have to drink. I would not be sober if I still lived in Chicago because you have to survive. Because you can't walk home. It's fucking free. You can get frostbite. So you have to go bar to bar. It's the only way to do it. Those are excuses of an addict, but that happens. Anyway, that's going to do it for the box. I am the man in the box. Make sure you subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs, which you're already listening to right now on the YouTube page. Like and subscribe. If you're listening on this podcast or Spotify or wherever the fuck it is, give a 5-star review if you can. Yeah, Chicago. See Generates. If you're around, I'll be out there this weekend. I fly there tomorrow. We're going to hit our bombs. I'll be at the Laugh Factory at 7 and doing the Blackout Diaries live show at the Lincoln Lodge at 10. And on Saturday, doing a panel show at 2 p.m., then a 6 o'clock show at the Lincoln Lodge to help promote Bridenstine's book, A Perfect Amount of Wrong, about the Chicago comedy scene in the early 2000s. He wrote this book, and now everybody hates him. It's hilarious. Mark Maron hates him. Hannibal hates him. All these people hate him. And I'm here for it. Brido calls me all nervous, and I do not help. I'm not a good comforting call. I just laugh in his face. Anyway, buy the book if you want. I'll go ahead and give him a plug. I'll go ahead and plug Brido's book, which I'm in. Perfect Amount of Wrong, Mike Bridenstine, because people hate him for it. He does deserve that for the death threats he's getting. And it's not even that revealing. He just, people like to get stuff cleared. Anyway. Oh, I gotta get out of the box. Go to the white segment. All right, that's gonna do it. This is the C block. We got the college experience show coming up next. So stay tuned right here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Head on over to the college show. Me and Pix Dundee, the daddy Dundee to be Dundee. We'll go over our bombs down under and give you underdog college plays for the weekend. All right, that's gonna do it for this edition of the Bottom Line Bombs. I am CJ Sullivan, the man in the box.